Hey guys, Battleblood here. Um, just want to give you guys a heads up. We're actually gonna put a stop, well, not a complete stop, maybe just a pause on audio video commentating. Reason for that is number one, I am getting swamped with priorities, work. Um, there just isn't a lot enough time for me to just address everything as I used to be able to. Again, I do have the Pet Gnome project to take care of. I have my own blog to look after. Something called ICH, that's countdown my blog to look after or look forward to, and just Twitter and PvP itself and farming, I guess. So you know, plus you add in school and work, as I said. So again, I don't have enough time to just sit down, speed up a video about 1.7 or 1.8 times, and be able to speak about it, because that takes about 45. Actually, that takes about 3/4 of the time of the real, actual time that the game lasts. It takes that much to commentate on, and then it takes a few, maybe like 1 or 2 hours just to process it in a movie maker, and then takes what 3 to 5 hours just to upload it. So again, I don't have that same time as I was allotted before. So I need to cut down on the commentary. I need to just go ahead and again, I'm running out of disk space on my computer, so I need to start flushing these videos out as fast as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to to background music, to fast sped up play, and hopefully, if you're kind of lost to how we're playing, to how we're thinking, look back on some of our past videos. A lot of strategies come up over and over again, and let me be honest, it's because a lot of teams tend to be repetitive. It's not that TPC is repetitive themselves, but again, a lot of strategies do come up, and it's when you start to notice patterns, you start to understand a little bit more, and then you don't really need guides. You really don't need uh, reminders of how to play. So look back on those videos and pick up on what you can. Take notes if you must, and just apply. Start watching these videos I'm going to be pumping out from now on, and try to sit in our seat and think, okay, based on what they've done before, and based on the types of thought processes that TPC has, what are they doing here and why are they doing that? Try to guess why are these cards being played, and try to play out the story or play out the situation, the scenario out in your own mind, and see if that matches. See if if they choose these cards the next round. That helps you get into the warlord mind set. Um, Another reason is we've gotten a lot of comments, and I think it hasn't gotten across to people just yet. So hopefully this will. And most recently, I actually posted a link to my blog that explains the main issues of PvP at this time, and whether maybe some of you don't like to read, maybe some of you want to hear or listen to an explanation, or maybe you want to see it for yourself. But given the PvP videos to come in the near future, you're going to be seeing it for yourself. There's one thing I want to address, and it's that a lot of people have a misconception that TPC is the quote-unquote best team out there. For one, in our defense, in the entire game's defense, we are not. And to elaborate on that, no team out there is the quote-unquote best. The reason for that, the reason for me saying that, is because there's always a chance for people to learn. That's the one thing about humans that ensures that we've survived for so long, that we're so intelligent and whatnot. It's the idea that we can communicate, that we can innovate, or invent and learn from mistakes. And so, again, you cannot judge a team's skill based on just one match. You can't just say, "Oh, well, they've lost, so that other team must be better than them." Don't think that way, because that's going to get you to a lot of, emotional or social trouble. And I'll elaborate that on that further later on. But, you know, understand we are not the best out there. A lot of people really like the way we play, and it seems like, based on the comments that we've been getting, that, oh, we only upload videos of our wins, or most of our wins comes from going first. Let me clarify that that is not the case. And again, you haven't these videos that I've only uploaded so far, aside from the countering PvP Tempest spammers, we have actually won playing from second a lot, and that's actually where we've learned a lot of our matches from. It's from playing from second that allows us to dominate in a way from first, or at least have an easier time at first. Um, so, so again, keep in mind also the game chooses for us. One thing I want to note is that I do upload every single game that we can, unless, for example, TPC meets a bunch of privates that really have no experience in PvP at all. I mean, sure, you can run into privates, and we did just a few nights ago, that know what they're doing, that think like warlords actually. But there are some privates out there who don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's their first time and whatnot. Those types of videos I'm not gonna upload, because really there's no point in teaching much in there. It just shows TPC kind of dominating the team. So, but all else, I mean, if it is a skillful game, if there's strategy involved, or if, hey, TPC loses to something, we will upload that. The reason for doing that, for kind of exposing or displaying weaknesses, maybe, if they are weaknesses, if it's not bad luck itself, is to show, hey, TPC learns. We take what we've been given, and we make something out of it. We don't just sulk on one loss. Oh, whoop-de-doo, this team beat us once. Hey, there's always a counter to something, and we are just gonna show. I mean, we definitely probably are the poster children for, innovating, reforming, and adapting, basically. TPC doesn't have a set strategy. Take note that our decks are constantly changing. There's going to be some cards we take out and put in. And it's not that we do that based on the very last match, but based on a collective experience from beginning until the present. What have we seen? What have we seen in our decks that's been useless to us most of the time, or most useful? And that's how we kind of decide. So we take everything into account, on what's useful and what's useless in today's PvP. That's the way we play. We don't have, we need 6 blades and then 4 shields, etc. each and every time. Really, we just try to change it up so then it makes it actually, so then our decks, all 4 of us, work well together with one another. And that's probably the reason why we tend to actually get a lot of wins in the arena. It's because we're not bound to just one style. When you're stuck in one mindset, when you only can play in a certain way, your weaknesses have just multiplied. Because, hey, you didn't cover this, you didn't cover that, you didn't cover that over there, in terms of weaknesses. You're wide open to just so many flaws and whatnot. So with TPC, we're not perfect per se, you know, ironic in the name itself. It's just that we play a lot differently. So those of you that look up to us, that cheer us on and say you can do it, or I mean, no, not the encouragement is okay, but those of you that do think that we're the best, that we're on the top and whatnot, you have to remember that there's always a chance for us to lose. There's always a chance for another team to win. Again, that sounds redundant, but both have different definitions to it. So again, when you ask us for help in PvP, when some people say, "Hey, can we play with you?" or "Can you teach us something?" These commentaries, these videos itself showing you exactly how we play and whatnot, this is the best we can really do, because technically, keep in mind, our decks are always changing. Our cards and our decisions are constantly, quote unquote, evolving. So we never play technically the same exact way as before. Sure, there are patterns, but keep in mind, if you study us from the very beginning and study us now, there are a lot of patterns that may repeat, but over time it's changing. It's kind of slanting in a totally different direction once you get to the present. And I think that's the way that a lot of players should be playing. And it's not just, hey, your deck needs to be set up this way and you need these cards, but you need to develop your own experience. You need to develop your own anticipation style, your own trust in yourself and in others. That's a big step right there before you really hop into PvP itself. I mean, I've seen a lot of teams disband because they can't trust in one another. Because, oh, someone didn't do something quote unquote right, therefore they're not quote unquote good, or as as decent as we expected. I mean, I think that's just wrong. You need to have patience. You need to have a friendship with the players that you play with. If you don't have that, believe me, you will fall in the end. Um, you can always look at any kind of group management classes, um, or take some advice or lessons from, supervisors at work, teachers. They have experienced it all and can tell you, you need teamwork. If anything, you need trust, and you need to adapt. So, that's just TPC's attitude. It's, who cares if you beat a team once? Sometimes there's luck involved, sometimes there's bad luck involved, or both. You need to start thinking, can you take on every team out there the same way that you play? You know. So again, I apologize if you're really looking forward to a lot of commentaries about PvP throughout the month of May, June, and July, but I really do not have that amount of time anymore. And so I'll just be speeding up videos so I can process them faster and upload them so you can watch TPC evolve through that way. And again, hopefully by now, if you've been an avid watcher, that you'll understand certain plays, that you can explain it yourself. And that's the point of TPC here, is to encourage players to get back into the arena. Don't be discouraged by 4 storms or 4 ices or 4 lives or what have you, because there's always a way around something, and that's something that we really want to elaborate and express. Hey, TPC, just a group of friends who know how to have a lot of fun, who like playing together, who understand one another. I mean, that's more than any of us could ever ask for, to be honest. Because hey, if you can lose together, you can win together. You know, and I don't mean to sound so preachy or so positive. You know, it's strikingly kind of corny, but it's true. I mean, you can't blame just one person for a loss. You have to blame all of you together. You know, you can't reprimand someone personally because hey, you're all in it together. If one person messes up, what about the other three? Can they back the entire team up too? I mean, mistakes happen. Phalanitis or fizzling happens. The wrong cards being pulled up happens. Whatever. Can you make it through? Play as a team continuously and not give up on one another? That's one question that you need to ask. It's not about winning every game. It's not about preventing losses entirely, but it's can you be consistent with it? So I mean, that's just some advice I want to impart out there if you're looking to team PvP. Um, and I guess I will be working to upload some of the videos. I may continue. I may come back to commentating, but I need to clear out my hard disk, my drive, and just basically, you know, speed everyone up to where we're at this point. So, anyways, thanks for your time. I know it's I know. Hey, I've been speaking for what nearly 20 minutes or so. Um, but you know, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for checking this out and kind of trying to understand. Again, there's a link in the description below that shows, hey, what is TPC all about? And again, I want to reiterate tonight that don't look up to us as the best, but look up to us as reflections of yourself in the future. You know, understand that you can overcome challenges that are out there. If the challenge is Tempest spamming, if you're having trouble living against a full team that likes to shoot just Tempest itself, there's a way around that. There's no, you know, do not give up is our message basically. And do not think that you have to conform to what's being used out there as a trend. You can play differently. You can innovate and invent. And you know what? It works overall. And that, you know, that's basically the point of TPC, is to say, hey guys, no matter how scared the arena is, come back in. Find a way around it. It's okay. You know, then hey, while we could be doing something else, I mean, hey, we've all got our warlord badges and whatnot. So much for PvPing, right? I mean, we could just go ahead and farm for our other ults. But no, we're spending our weekends playing together, finding ways and loopholes to other teams, applying them, and hopefully inspire everyone to, hey, you know what, arena isn't so bad, you know, as opposed to the argument or the verbal verb usages, you know. But hey, you have the ignore button. If someone's being really bad out there, you have the report button. You know, keep Wizard 101 the way it is, really, and don't let the trolls take over. Is yet another message to pass on. So, anyways, I bid you farewell and have a great evening, great morning, great afternoon, whenever you listen to this. And I shall see you in the spiral. GG.